What the fuck's going on? Welcome to My Favorite Lyrics, the podcast where we talk about music lyrics, except for when we talk about other stuff. And today, we've got two very, very special guests. Two guests that I go maybe the furthest back with of any of the people, at least like my New York friends.
And yet,
we waited so long. And we're also successful podcasters.
Can y'all let me finish? Can y'all let me finish the intro before y'all start shitting on me? Can y'all let me finish? Well, I haven't even said your names yet. I haven't even said your name and y'all's names, and y'all already doing this. We've got we've got Claire Parker and Ashley Hamilton on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us finally. I have been counting down the minutes until we got the request. It was kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, okay, so this is, let's
to run the Rolodex.
Let's get into this while we're here, because it's like these two are talking about...
Do we have a problem?
Yeah. These two have immediately, they just sat down. I can't stress enough. Y'all don't know this. Normally when people come in, they sit down, we kind of chit chat. Oh, how are you doing? What's going on with you? How's your day been? These two come in hot, pastry in hand, take their jackets off, hug me, sit down, and then immediately, I didn't even know if we were recording or not. They were like, why weren't we on the podcast earlier?
No.
Yes.
I sat down and immediately was an ally. I immediately said, I've noticed kind of like potentially a racist situation on the podcast.
One thing about Claire, she's always trying to point out racism.
And I said, I was talking about other guys, I specifically wanted to make sure a dumb white bitch was called out on this podcast.
Yeah, and I will say to that point, I've talked about this on the pod before, but it frustrates me, I think, sometimes, because sometimes I will bring white guests on, especially white women guests on that I've had, and I think that they try to meet me where they think I am, which is not, there's so much of that served with every other person that comes. We got hip hop and R&B are covered. When I get white women on the podcast, I want them to talk about white women shit.
Yes, we're experts on our own culture.
And it seems, I mean, if y'all know about one thing in this world, it's white women shit. So much so that one time there's a picture of us from my birthday when I very first moved here. Just for the people.
Is it with my mom in it?
Yes, the one with your mom in it. For the people who are listening at home, Ashley and Claire I met Ashley almost a decade ago in Austin when her brother lived there.
A decade ago.
It was just about.
I was in high school.
I met Ashley in Austin years ago, and I met Claire when I moved here because y'all two are friends, and they were the first. We used to all run around doing open mics when I very first moved here.
We had a great group chat. I remember we were at the IHOP. I remember you getting up to go take a phone call from your girlfriend at the time outside, and I remember going, she doesn't like us. And little does she know, it couldn't be more platonic.
Sure. That's the first reference of that ex-girlfriend on this podcast.
I have a beef with her because I think she's still kind of mean to me, and I go, girl, you're gay now. Yeah. You kind of have to release any of your heterosexual beefs.
Sure.
I didn't want to fuck him, and apparently neither did you. So it's kind of even across the board.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you could cut that if you need.
No, it's okay.
It's nothing but true, and I've been nothing but nice.
Nothing but true.
It's also, there's going to be such a small group of people who listen to this podcast who actually are going to know who you're talking about, that it's like,
I can get back.
That can absolutely.
We're talking about a decade's past. Yes, things have changed.
Yes, exactly. Quite a few things.
We're the only people that knew him then, and yet the last people to come on the podcast.
And so let's dive into that really quickly, because it's like, I do want to say we are maybe 30-something episodes deep before we got Ashley and Claire, who are some of my longest friends in New York. But I will also say these two are on their fourth different podcast that they've ever done. Fourth?
Yeah.
Is this four? They're on their fourth different podcast.
I say fourth, Claire says fifth.
Hey, how many times have I been a guest on the show that you guys have?
Actually, you were on Who's with Tabs. We had you in. Let's pull up the Who's with Tabs tapes.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, should we talk about my sound?
You were literally on Who's with Tabs. You were on the original podcast.
Yeah, and that was quite some time ago. But since you guys have become successful,
my unsuccessful side podcast that only had 10 episodes, and you were one of the guests.
And what was that podcast about, Ashley?
That was about music.
Wow.
And here I was, inspired by Ashley's.
He thought you'd never catch him if you didn't have him as a guest.
I forgot. That was the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Everything's been the pandemic.
Everything's been the pandemic. There's always been a pandemic.
Yeah, that was a deep pandemic pod. But it's like, now since they've become successful podcasters, since they've become people who have quit their day jobs and supported themselves as they've had many guests on.
Devon,
quite a few strangers, even people you've never met.
Write a memoir
in your entire life.
I would love to have you. I want to invite you right now. I'd love to have you on.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
4 podcasts in.
You'll be in good company with Sir Patrick Stewart.
You guys have Patrick Stewart?
Yeah, and Mike.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Y'all doing so much better than me.
And Mike, the situation, we had Julia Fox requested to be on our podcast.
That makes sense to me.
And she drove to our studio. She got childcare to do the pod.
Oh, I forgot she does have a kid.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I find it so charming when famous people introduce themselves. I love that. I love when someone who you obviously know who it is says who they are. I go, thank you. Thank you for introducing yourself.
Now
like I'm Amish.
We're all on an even playing field now.
We're all
even as we
introducing
could
ourselves.
be. Even like I've known of people who have met Jay-Z and they say he introduces himself as Sean.
Oh,
that's so cute.
It's really endearing.
I guess he's a good guy after all.
You know that cute thing he did? Do you remember that little funny game he played where he pretended he was taking the subway?
Oh, in that video with the old lady.
And then the old lady's like, who are you? And I was like, oh, they used the same subway they used for the Chanel show, probably. It was like actually locked in the Bowery. It's in the Transit Museum. It was a set. They rebuilt it in Los Angeles. He was on his way to Staples Center that night.
You know, the deeper you get into this game, the more you start to be able to see through certain things like that. But even that said, as a person who kind of knows a little bit more how this shit moves, I watch that video still every time it pops up on my phone, I watch the whole thing. I'm like, this is a charming little portrait, even though it's probably a lie.
And you know what? I've been getting got a lot right now by
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I was gonna say like AI pets.
Oh my God.
But sometimes like
I can't relate.
Of course it's worse.
Timothy Chalamet is doing.
Okay, of course it's worse. I thought we were in a safe space.
We're in a safe space. You can say stuff like that, but I will say it's bad.
And I don't like it about myself. I used to get trapped by AI beach houses. I used to be like, look at this vacation home where it's snowing and there's a lake and there's a lot of AI interior design happening these days.
Whoa.
And I'm always like, that would be cool to be on a ski mountain in a rainforest. Where's that?
We got to get us all back on the same algorithm. We got to get us all back seeing the same stuff. Because I really don't like when this kind of stuff happens where I'm like, we're all living like on the internet, on our phones, we're in different worlds. We're living completely different lives, even though we're all peers and like doing the same shit.
You know what I've been seeing recently that I'm really happy of? There's been a lot of funny women trying to take back the AI world where they're singing explainers to you. I feel like I've had a lot of women be like, have you ever seen those AI videos that they're like, why does a frog jump from a lily pad? And then it does the science.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I've never heard of this in my life.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And we send each other TikToks 17 times a day.
And the people who sing these probably make millions of dollars.
No, there is no people.
What?
That's the thing, it's AI. So now women, there's a backlash where these women are like, I'm going to start singing my own tunes and explain to you how soap works. And I'm like, so now you get to learn, but from a person. Okay, sorry. I have lyrics. Do you guys want to talk about Sabrina Carpenter?
Okay, you and I are on the same page in the way that we're confused about.
I have no idea. Like everything you just said doesn't sound like anything that lines up with anything I've seen.
And I'm unclear on what are these women reclaiming?
Singing.
They're reclaiming like jobs from AI. They're saying why.
But the job is singing about.
Yeah, teaching. Basically, like Hank Green has been replaced by AI, and now the women are coming for AI.
So they're like being like singing Miss Rachel's?
No, it's stuff that you would be interested in too. Like, how does a locomotive work? How far is the sun?
But then because they're doing it, does that mean the AI can't do it anymore?
No, it's just an alternative. Kind of like, you know.
If you're like, I want to know how a locomotive works by song, and then they say, well, we have this AI song, but then these women say, or you can click on a real woman singing about a locomotive. Now you have options.
Kind of like when you go to Etsy and have a handmade hat. There was always, yeah, exactly like that. The women said, I can make that for you.
Hey.
It's kind of like when they invented organic food. There's options.
Sure, and then it's like
post-industrialization, there are a return to humanity options.
If there's two things that Claire Parker's here to stand up for, it's racial justice and say that thing you said?
Post-industrialization, a return to humanity.
And a return to humanity.
That is kind of our thing.
Yeah, no, we love it.
I mean, you guys, thank you for bringing white girl lyrics. This is really nice. Before we dive into the lyrics, do you guys have anything would you like to talk about our lore? in our history. I'm sorry I used that word. I don't talk like that.
I thought you were going to say,
I'm
you were
so
trying to
sorry
say
I
our
said-
Lord.
I was like, yeah, I
was
guess
like,
let's
God,
do a quick
it is
prayer.
Christmas.
No, that's the Texas in me. I
Thank
think
you for
sometimes
the music.
sometimes I skate over
Yeah.
certain syllables.
Well, I guess it made more sense to me that you'd want to talk about God than you'd want to talk about our lore. I'm trying to think.
No,
you know,
yeah,
the lore
that
is
sucks.
that
I'm so sorry that I said that. I never talk
Can
like
you
that.
believe that I went to Texas to visit my brother in college and then we met and then now he has like a wife and a second child on the way?
I do believe that.
I can't believe they got. Do you think they got stuck in Texas to release you? Do you think it's a
Yeah.
one in, one out sitch?
Yeah. It's very much like that. It's like you can't go in without somebody else coming out.
It's a musical
Okay.
chairs situation almost.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's a huge bummer
and I guess
for me.
as long as we're talking about families, my mom, she doesn't know I'm here, but I'm sure she would say hi.
I love Claire's mom. I love your mom.
She
And
was a big fan of Devon from the beginning, and then when he
Yes.
got SNL, it was like she was like, "This is."
It was a
huge.
rocket ship.
It was huge.
It was a rocket ship. I really do. I love your mom.
She's rooting for you always.
and I'm rooting for her as well. I need to follow her art account.
Okay, Catherine
You don't
Barker
follow
art.
her?
Yes, Catherine Barker. All right, I need to follow it.
Oh
I
my-
love your mom too. Shout out to Chi-Town
Okay,
Handy.
I was gonna say real quick, if
Shout
my
out-
mom doesn't get a shout out, she's about to send a really angry text.
Shout out Chi-Town Hammy.
you.
Shout out to the mom.
Shout out to
Okay.
everybody's moms. I met y'all's dads as well.
Yes.
We're not as close.
No.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, I
That's how
feel
dads are.
dads don't have. I always say a good dad should have no friends,
Interesting.
and that like, and if your dad is a good dad, he's kind of autistic, and that's why
Yeah.
it's weird because I'm married to a man that I love and I think is pretty easy to get along with, but
Yeah.
I keep being like, wow, any minute now I'll have a kid and then you'll become autistic.
Interesting.
Something, right? She knows. She's laughing because there's something that happens to dads where you go, you're having conversations nobody's ever had. Like, why are
Yeah.
you talking? Surely you've shook a hand and said, how was your day before? What happened to you that you can't do that normal anymore?
They
Was
just don't have a lot of conversations. And so I think when they get the chance, they say all of their conversations to one person with no interruptions. That's how my dad talks.
Y'all
I think
have
it's a lot of
really different dads.
a lot
than
of-
my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's never met a person he doesn't know. My dad used to. We would be at Schlitterbahn. If you're from Texas, you fucking know. Shout out all the Texans. Shout out Schlitterbahn. Let me
That
get
seems hard to say.
Let me get a
Yeah.
Schlitterbahn deal. It's everything in Texas.
Is it
What
a
is-
car dealership, a burrito place,
It's
a
water
diner?
park. It's a water park.
a water park.
Yeah,
That
it's a
doesn't,
water
can I
park.
say something?
And not
That
what I would have guessed.
doesn't sound right.
Schlitterbahn, the hottest, coolest times in Texas. Come play Schlitterbahn.
Do you know what I've been trying to get together? A big group trip to the Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of America.
No, I
You
can't
wanna
do
go?
water parks at this stage.
Well, don't say that after asking for the deal.
Oh, unless it's Schlitterbahn. Unless I'm involved with the hottest, coolest times in Texas. I really would love to. I don't even think they need advertisers though. Like I don't even think they really need like
it's
public
so
facing
important.
people.
Yeah.
It is like
But maybe they could get you one of those. You know when like famous people go to Disney World and they have like a special pass that gets them to the front of the line? Maybe you could get a water slide front row pass.
that's that's kind of the only way I would go to any of those places
Yeah.
now because
Yeah.
I'm so impatient. I don't want to wait for anything.
Especially being a grown up in line with kids.
You
I
feel
don't want
me?
to sit in. I don't want to sit in line with kids. I want to cut them.
Me and my adult friends standing next to a bunch of 9-year-olds trying to go down a slide. It's just,
And having to take your shirt off in front of them.
I don't wanna
You
do
can't
that.
go down.
They're
a-
gonna
you
be
can't down
really
elevator.
mean.
I don't want to do that at all. But it's like, what was I talking about, Schlitterbahn?
I know, but can I say something really quickly? Can I say something I've been sitting on?
Yeah, please
Okay,
do.
listen to this.
Yes.
Schlitterbahn, make your car run now.
No, that works as well.
Schlitterbahn for cars. I guess I just think
I
it sounds
never in a million years would have thought that's the thing that you really needed to say.
I just think, doesn't that sound more right? Like Schlitterbahn should be like a kind of like car cleaner outer.
I hear it. I
Like
hear what
Jiffy
you
Lube or something. Okay, sorry. I just,
Gold bond.
Gold Bond, sure.
That's a car cleaner.
but
outer.
German for cars, for the
Yes.
Autobahn. Okay, sorry. You could go back to your thing.
All this to say,
Schlitterbahn.
me and my dad used to go to this water park and we'd be standing in the, because for a time when I was a kid, this for like several years was the #1 water park in America. It got rated the #1 water park in
That's
America.
really huge.
And it was like,
Congratulations.
it was like, and honestly, it felt
They
incredible.
had body slides and inner tube slides.
They really did.
They had a
They
wave.
really did.
drop
And
slides?
Yeah, they had
Wave
a
pool.
whole wave pool that you could just
Whoa.
go around for the entire day. So like when you became a teenager and you didn't have to be with your parents no more, then you would just get in there and then you would like snap girls like swimsuits and stuff like that.
Sexy.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's a fun day
Air
as a
out the UTIs they're getting from the
that's,
water
that's a
park.
fun day as a 14-year-old. You're snapping the backs of swimsuits. That was a big
Fun day now.
Yeah. And now we get into how we really know each other.
I snapped Devon's swimsuit and he got embarrassed. And his mom called my mom. That's
He
how the
cried to
moms
his
get
dad. His
involved.
dad said, "Don't cry at the water park. I know everybody here."
He would. That's the thing. I've been trying to tell the story for 9 minutes.
Sorry, go. We'll stop.
Truly, my dad would just. We would be in line. You'd be in these like big long lines. That you'd be waiting for 2 hours to go down like a slide for 2 minutes. And
Does not sound like the number one water park to me.
yeah, they should have done something about that. But like my dad he would literally make friends in line and then memorize their phone numbers. And then as soon as we would like get home, he'd be like, okay, 5129. Like he would.
But isn't that exactly like now you have an in at the water park? You didn't even have to do SNL. Your dad could have just followed up on those texts.
That guy didn't. My dad, we were in line. So it's like, that wasn't the head of the water park. He was probably a guy who worked at like in an automotive
But
plant.
let me ask you this. You're in line at the water park. The guy manning the slide brings somebody up to the front. Are you going to go, I know for a fact you don't have the authority to do it?
I hear what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? I
hear
kind of
what
think
you're
if
saying.
you've got a uniform on,
Mhm.
who's going to tell you no?
Okay. Well,
But also,
I guess
I don't know the culture of Schlitterbahn. I feel like if people are like coming there for the best experience in the world, they're probably, it's like Disney style where they have an itinerary and they're like on edge.
What water park do you go to? If
We
you're-
have Six Flags
where's
and
there a
Hurricane Harbor.
Where's the Hurricane Harbor near? If Claire's from New Jersey.
Yes, there was a Six Flags. I couldn't tell you what city it was in, but that's like the local one.
How
And
far is it from where you grew up?
I only ever went once, and I think it must have been like, time to recall a car amount of time from
Yeah,
20 years later
totally.
is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It
That's-
feels long, but it might have been short.
Yeah, it also doesn't feel like anything. It's not something I've ever had to recall ever in my life.
Okay, fair enough.
But that was like the local one you'd go to. And
I
at the
see.
end of the day, it's a trip. It's, you're going for the day.
Just excited to like
You wake up early.
go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like apple
Mhm.
picking or something. Like, it's going to be a distance.
Yeah.
It wasn't local.
No.
I didn't live in one of those like water park economies where we were all
figured,
perched up on a water park.
You grew up in the part of Jersey you grew up right next to the city.
Yeah.
So it's like you guys are doing city.
It's
Our water
basically
park
a
was the
city.
Hudson River. It was that
Yikes.
boat with the mouth on it. You guys ever
Yes,
seen
that shark boat.
shark boat with loud music?
I'm not familiar with the shark.
I
It
don't know.
zooms around Manhattan.
And it goes so like it's but when I was little, I used to be like, one day I'm gonna get on that boat. And I've never done it. So actually my birthday, October 16th, but should the three of us do
Next October 16th.
Oh. Did you do something for your birthday this year?
Can I tell you I'm actually busy on your birthday next year?
Yeah, I don't.
I just got to save the date for a wedding. And I said, wow, I better make sure Claire knows I'm busy on her birthday next year.
Oh, this is real.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing a bit.
What are
No.
you?
That's so funny to do on this to like break that news on.
That's okay.
Yeah, I got to tell
on
you I can't
record.
go on the shark boat on your birthday next year. I'm busy.
You know what I was thinking? Can you ask me again if I did anything this year for my birthday?
Did you do anything this year for your birthday?
I
Claire?
actually didn't because I was a bit burnt out because on October 6th, I filmed my special, which is out February 13th on youtube.com where you all have access.
Wait, Claire. Did you know that's my birthday?
Yes, now that I think about it, I did know. Do you want to do like a combined like Claire Parker screening, Devon Walker? I
I was
am
about to
looking for
say
sponsors.
October 6th is not your birthday. Your birthday's in February. Okay. Her special day.
There it is.
That's like Valentine's Day. That's why he gets along with the gal so good.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It was called by the sun.
Yes, that's what it is. Guys, happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. It's good
This
to
is
catch
ni-
up.
This is nice. I feel like I don't know if I've seen you guys on a lot of other people's podcasts, so I didn't know what you'd be like as podcast guests, but
Fun,
like a
right?
wave pool that's just
Yeah.
you're in the ocean, you're fighting for your life.
once it starts, it don't stop.
It just keeps coming, and you're screaming to the lifeguard, please. That lifeguard, he's 16,
Can I get a
he's
word
texting.
in? No, now you've got a mouthful of water. It might be pee.
I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be fun.
We gotta get y'all doing two prov.
What's that?
It's like a two-person improv.
Oh, like a podcast where you just gotta shoot the shit or something?
No, it's like an improv performance, but it's just two people.
I have to tell
Oh
you.
We
my
gotta-
God. So you went on SNL and you learned all about improv.
Wait, can
Honestly, kind of.
Can I tell you though? Ashley and I were just doing our podcast, our Patreon, and something happened to me recently.
Mm.
I won't get into too much detail, but basically, I have this chess set, and it's little buddies. They're like the pieces look like little guys,
Okay.
and a pawn has been missing for like a year almost. I just found it. Somehow he got stuck with the ornaments from last Christmas. So when I opened the ornaments this year, he was in there. And me and Ashley actually wrote what I think might be one of the great children's movies of all time about this little pawn's experience. Because think about it, the chess set,
No,
so
totally.
rigid,
Yeah.
war. You know what I mean? And he's just a pawn.
He's lined up. He's in an army of other pawns, and they're going up against the other team.
And then he gets stuck with the ornaments, and they're peppy, they're excited. Do you know what I mean? They believe in cheer, they
Everybody
believe in
has an
individuality.
identity.
They're sparkling. And at first he misses his family, but then he changes and adapts in a way that even when he returns the next year, he's never quite the same. It's kind of,
I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. This sounds like an incredible idea.
Doesn't it sound like, yeah.
This sounds like an incredible
And then we
idea.
have
This
the-
seems
and
like
then, of
something that
course,
really
he's-
would resonate.
He's back at Chris's, right? So the ornaments are right next to the chess set. And now he has to be like,
He's
Ashley
torn
came up
between
and
his
she
two
goes,
worlds.
maybe he lied to them about, maybe he told them all he's a rook or something.
Whoa.
Do you know what I
And,
mean?
He was
and
like,
now they're on the tree and
he's
they're
like-
looking at him and he's a pawn.
he's
and
like,
he-
I'm a queen. I'm in the queen in my country.
And at the end of the day, he doesn't really belong in either world now.
Whoa.
Because he's not a Christmas ornament, but now he's not just a pawn.
Whoa, he's biracial.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's an immigrant, kind of. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an immigrant story.
He's
I
a
think.
biracial immigrant. No, this is. I'm not even lying. I'm not fucking with you. I do think you should make this story.
And we just
I
ripped
do-
that out today. And I was like, wait a minute.
We did that in an incredible game of two-prov.
Y'all are like the Sonic guys.
I actually know them.
Oh yeah, one of them's a Chicago guy, right?
No.
He's an improv guy.
No. I mean,
Well,
yes.
maybe yes.
Yeah.
Maybe yes, also that.
Okay, how do you know it?
When I first moved to
Two-prov. You start with no, right?
Yeah. No, it's not that.
Maybe yes also, but mostly my
Yeah,
favorite.
When
it's
I
not
tell you
yes.
what
It's
it is-
no, but.
Can I tell you, when I tell you what it is, you'll say, wow, no, it wasn't what I said it was.
Okay.
Okay, so when I first moved to Los Angeles and I was looking for a job, I
Yeah.
moved there with a bunch of people that I went to college with because I majored in television, radio, film. So a
Shout
big
out to
group of us
Syracuse.
moved out to LA.
Mhm.
Exactly. Go Oranges.
Yes.
And so we moved out to LA. I was looking for a job. We're looking at all the, there's like entertainmentcareers.net. There's Craigslist. Like, this is where you find jobs, if not through your like alumni network. And I was not finding jobs through the alumni network. They did not like me. And so I found this job on Craigslist, an assistant to a producer. I'm trying to tell the story as fast as I can because it's kind of long.
We have
But
time.
this guy who tells me that he
No, we kinda don't.
He tells me last week I quit my job as an executive at Paramount and now I'm starting my own production company and I'm looking for an assistant. And I said, great. And he goes, it'll be a 2-week trial period. So and long story short, I ended up working for this guy unpaid for 5 weeks.
Unpaid.
Unpaid.
I was assuming it was you were getting paid, but it was but he was just trying you out.
No, I was getting tried out to see if I could eventually get paid, and the trial period kept getting longer. It turns out there really wasn't a production company, but he was
True LA
trying to
story.
start a production company. Like, I think he was kind of, what's her name? Who's the girl who tried to, Anna Delveying? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
saying the company exists and trying to get people on board before there was really a structure in place and any
Of course.
finance in place. So he had people that we were working with. We had like an operations manager. We were meeting with like writers and people that were going to be like writing the movies that we were producing, the Sonic guys.
Ah.
Throughout this process, through this like short period where we were all kind of getting like tricked by, I don't know. He kept on when we were all being strung along by this guy.
You're being fooled.
The operations manager and one of the writers who ended up writing Sonic met. They're together to this day.
Wait a second. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
When I said the Sonic guys,
The writers of Sonic the Hedgehog.
aha. I see where the disconnect is here.
Were you talking about Jim Carrey?
Are you
No,
talking about Sonic the Hedgehog himself?
I was not talking about the guys who wrote the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise film.
Well, it's an
I was
improv duo.
It was.
Oh, you're talking about Tom Hiddleston and Middlemarch or whatever? Let's keep guessing.
Claire, what are their names?
Tom Hiddleston and Middlemarch.
Tom Hiddleston and Middlemarch. That's nobody's name.
What's she saying wrong?
You can't just laugh at me without teaching me. I'm open to learning.
John Malkovich.
Thomas Middleditch.
That's what she said.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm crazy.
I'm not talking about the guys who wrote Sonic. I'm talking about the guys from the Sonic commercials who were like improvisers who used to do all those comedic.
Okay. Okay, so but you're missing the context. Yeah, okay.
So we
We were having a different conversation.
Okay.
But I'm
it
glad I
all-
learned that story about how you got scammed.
Tell him how you got your money back.
Okay, so how I got my money back, sort of, is that for the next year, at least once a week, I would call this guy on the phone and say, you owe me money. And
Yeah.
every week he would either screen my call or answer me and say, I'm not in LA right now or whatever. One time he answers me drunk. He's at a strip club in the Valley.
Okay.
And I go, tell me what strip club you're at. I just went there. I was driving home from an open mic at the Palace Chinese restaurant in Los Feliz. I'm driving home. I stop off in North Hollywood. I walk into this strip club. He has an envelope with $1,000 in his pocket. I just took it.
What, you just took it out of his pocket?
Yeah, it was in his front, like a business pocket.
Like where a pen would go. But he doesn't write checks. He pockets them.
Sure. And it's funny because it's like you got the money that was supposed to go to like his last assistant. You know what I'm saying?
No, she got the money that was supposed to go to a stripper.
Oh, I see.
It was a pile of cash at a strip club.
I see. And you said, you know.
Well, I calculated how much he owed me, and it was it was more than $1,000.
Yeah,
so I said, this'll do.
This is the closest you're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
So you were talking about that situation. Meanwhile, I'm talking about these two guys.
I can't believe I'm so interested, and I wonder which is the higher prize. Like, did we think you thought higher of us, or do you know what I mean? Like, what's a more important entertainment?
Yeah, like, did you think that we could be so brilliant as to write sonnet to the hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, or did you think we were so brilliant that we could carry a commercials franchise?
I mean, look, I guarantee these guys did these ads for like 10 years. I guarantee you they want for nothing.
Yeah, but the Sonic guys, I don't know. In my house, our letterbox, I have a joint couples letterbox, and there's only one 5-star movie, and it is Sonic 3.
Sonic 3?
2 Jim Carreys, double the fun.
Oh, he's still the villain in the third one?
He's 2 villains in the third one.
Whoa. I think about this all the time. I did David Borean and Langston's podcast when I was in LA, and those two guys really do openly talk shit in a way that I think is kind of gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do feel like they're used to. I feel like the fact that like everything feels so scarce now.
The Tina Fey thing. Authenticity is like expensive and dangerous.
And yes, exactly. It's exactly that, where it's just like, oh, I think we're being less of ourselves because we're just like, oh, it's so hard to piece together anything that we're like, we need to, it used to be like, oh, you got to have a good relationship with this guy at HBO.
Yeah.
Well, and don't worry. We're still talking shit.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say is I think y'all feel really comfortable talking shit in a way that I think.
In a way that'll,
It's kind of a lost art.
I think it's so important to talk shit and let people know that it's not that important.
Like on wax. You know what I'm saying? Like on record talking shit, I think is you just don't get that much.
The first joke I ever wrote that I was like, I think that's actually a pretty good joke, was I like made a joke about how like I'm not scared of sending nudes because if there was anywhere I was gonna hide nudes, I'd like put it on the internet. Because I'm like, if you were trying to find my nudes, what would you even Google? Like there's so much porn out there. It's almost like you want to hide it amongst the many. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So the thing I do is we talk shit for like 4 hours a week, every week. Someone's gonna listen to all? You know what I mean? It's a lot to comb through.
Sure. I see.
You know?
It's like odds are it's not gonna get back to whoever you've been shitting on.
I just think in general, people take shit talking so seriously. To never have a negative thought about anything that you're allowed to express, like why? Why? It doesn't mean I hate someone. It means one time
they did a thing you didn't like.
The materialist isn't good. What does Dakota Johnson say? That's not true. If me and Dakota Johnson meet on set one day, I'm gonna go, you really thought that was a good movie,
You really thought that was a good idea, that movie. You thought that the leg surgery was just like a really insightful conversation.
You thought that side rape arc was just like a funny way to show your own personal growth.
You thought it was like a normal movie plot to have a 40-year-old successful woman who, like, 1, can't get a date. That's realistic. But 2, has not a single friend in New York City. This is cruel. This is cruel to say she's calling her matchmaker who got her raped.
That movie. I can't believe it existed.
Yeah.
I can't believe that it happened. I got my own Dakota Johnson thoughts, but again, I don't know who knows who.
Yeah,
I don't be talking shit that openly, but I got thoughts. We'll
and
talk
they're
about
all positive.
We're gonna hang out after this.
Okay, I have so much FOMO.
I texted both Ashley and Claire in our group chat, which is mostly dormant at this point, but it used to be like really active.
We're all neighbors now, and I kind of think we should get it back together.
You and I live like a block away from each other now.
We live right next to each other. You live very close.
Yeah.
So it's like we all and I don't got a job.
We're
so
having the Greatest Showman watch party in my basement.
Yeah, do you want to come watch The Greatest Showman?
With Hugh Jackman?
Yeah,
duh.
Have you seen it?
No.
Well, then
maybe keep your judgment to yourself.
Can I went through the pictures of our old group chat and just, I mean, this isn't good for podcasting, but just look at the stuff that's in there.
Oh my God, look at my, oh my God, I look so much like Randall from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, shout out to Randall. Real silly villain vibes. But anyway, I talk on this podcast all the time. We talked about it earlier about how nobody brings white girl lyrics to the pod, and I really want to say thank you. Lisa Traeger did bring white girl lyrics, but none of them were funny at all. She brought really like earnest,
serious, like her favorite lyrics.
She like, yes. Sometimes people, Michael Longfellow also did that. Where literally he like brought me a lyric and I was like, all right, what are your thoughts on it? And he goes, oh, I have to have thoughts on it. And I was like, what do you think the podcast is?
He had no idea you were in comedy. He hadn't seen you in that context.
Ain't nobody else like him, Mike Longfellow. But y'all brought white girl lyrics, and we're gonna dive straight into some white girl lyrics. Can you guys give the name of the song and the artist for the people, and then whatever lyric you'd like to talk about?
I brought Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, and specifically the titular line, that's that me espresso.
Mm.
I mean, the whole song, I can't relate to desperation. My give a fucks are on vacation. But really, that's that me espresso, because it sometimes that is that me. Like, that's that me espresso. And
like, who is it? It's that me espresso.
You know, there's
That's
two types
genius.
of people in the world. There's like me espressos and then there's me Marios. And everyone's Italian in my world, but there's two types. And they're both up. You know what I mean? But I the first time I heard this song, I was coming out of a winter depression, and she launched it, and I was on an e-bike, and it was the first beautiful day in New York City, and I had this in my head, like, on repeat, and I was just, 1,000 miles an hour into head-on traffic, not afraid of a bus, and not afraid, with the sun beating down, and I was cured instantly of my depression.
Whoa.
And so I literally do have to say, like, Sabrina Carpenter, that's that you espresso, like, you did that to me. That
It's
is
send her
that
give
her.
a fucks to vacation.
Whoa.
She put me on vacation, you know what I mean? And I just think it doesn't always have to make, sometimes you just get to say, like Shakespeare. Shakespeare just made up words and you caught the vibe. You figured it out. He invented assassin, context clues. You said, okay, that's our word now. That's how language is born. Grammar is just an idea. It's a foundation that you can jump off of. And I think that's that me espresso. What is that? You get it. We all know.
Yeah. I mean, if I was working at the show when that song came out. I do love this song. I do love this song. It is so catchy to me. And I remember where I was the first time where I heard her say she was working late because she's a singer.
And it like literally is true. And I mean,
and you were working late.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So I really did hear that. And I was just like, we got similar lives.
It really is.
We both working late because of our careers. And because of that, we can't do everything else.
Yeah.
Everything at some of our other things.
You had worked so late.
And I think anyone who's ever worked late, they can get it. And I just think I also love it when she comes in a way that I don't like when other people do it. I didn't like it when Ariana did it. I didn't like it when Taylor Swift did it. But when she says, too bad your ex don't do it for you.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like she's playful enough and she's silly enough that she can pull off being a little bit bitchy. Like it's too bad that your ex didn't do it. Too bad you didn't like her.
I see. Have you felt like that before?
I don't know that I...
Do you feel like any sort of like sense of rivalry with your husband's like women that he's dated before?
But actually, I remember when I had a crush on him and he had very few Instagrams and he had one of his ex. At this point, lived in another country, was very out of the picture, but I was like fixated on her just because there wasn't anything else to do. And I remember looking her up and she was like a teacher who loved baking and she just seemed so boring. And I remember being like, oh my God, he's never gonna like me. He likes boring girls. And then sure enough, we got together and it turned out it's not that he likes boring girls, he likes brunettes with big foreheads. Of which we are two peas in a pod. I will say, you put us next to each other and you go, well, if he was a murderer, we'd know who should be scared. You know what I mean? Like we do look very similar. And it turned out the reason they had broken up is because he didn't like her personality. So actually the boring thing was the negative.
So you stepped right in. There was a gap in the market.
I said, I heard you want to be with someone who's just screaming all the time. And you know what? He did.
Claire's husband, also for those of y'all who don't know her, who don't maybe listen to her show, Claire's husband's truly like a nice man in a way that doesn't feel like it could exist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like most people, I always say this, like when you say somebody's nice, it's like the meanest thing that you could say about them.
Yeah.
When somebody's name comes up and you're like, oh yeah, like she's really nice. You're like, oh, she sucks. Like she sucks. You don't like her. You don't like him. Especially with comedians.
Yeah. Oh, God.
With a comedian, if anybody's like, oh yeah, he's a really nice guy. You're like, you don't think he's talented at all. You don't think he's ever said
awful
anything.
To be around.
Yeah, exactly. He's got
drags the conversation so far down.
But Claire's husband, legitimately the nicest, warmest person I've ever been around in my whole life. I can't believe it. I can't believe he's a real guy.
Dude, I'm like, I always was like, if he explodes, I guess it's like, I'll die. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I think he's just I've known him for a while now, to the core. But yeah, apparently loves to be around. He We balance. I like to explain our relationship as like a skip it. Like I'm the ball that's like about to go off into the moon, and he's like
the stable thing.
Yeah, he's keeping us to the angle that's making it kind of like a fun game and not just like a bomb being thrown. So,
have you ever felt that way with any of your people's exes, any of your people you're dating? Have you ever felt like too bad they don't do it for him?
No, I always say I don't feel that I have any ones that got away where I'm, where I go, yeah, that relationship ended in a correct manner. It was supposed to. And also, you know what? I don't know. I've never been like, aha, I got you and your ex couldn't handle it. I feel like whenever I'm dating someone and then I find out about their exes being like someone who kind of sucks, I'm always like, wait, do you suck then? Why did you love her?
Interesting.
Why did you love her? If like, it's not even that I'm like, oh, you like people that suck. I'm like, oh, she sucks and you guys were together for a long time. So are you a bigger loser than I thought?
I like that. That's the most self-assured way to think about somebody's exes. Because some people look at their exes and they're just like, oh, like both of you guys are on this train. Because some people look at the exes and they're like, oh, like, does this reflect poorly on me? Do I not live up to the standard that this last person made? But you guys haven't considered that even for a moment. You guys are like, that bitch sucks.
I don't think I've ever dated anyone with a very impressive ex.
I have to say this, though. I've long been a believer that I was like, if you're a beautiful woman, you actually carry a heavy burden of you cannot hook up with a guy that sucks because other women will be hooking up with him being like, well, if she did him, there must be something here. Like you will set people up on a path that's so dangerous. So you actually have to withhold, like you have a scarcity resource. As a woman. Because it's not just about giving him credit, it's about like the women that you'll trick. You know what I mean? You're giving him something he can use to trick other people.
Interesting. If you're a beautiful woman, you've got yet another responsibility.
It's so hard.
But like with great power comes great responsibility. Literally, Spider-Man warned you.
That's true. There's a baddie tax that must be paid.
Yeah. And it's not even a tax. It's a responsibility to your community.
Yeah.
As a leader,
to not you can't introduce kind of ugly men into the ecosystem.
Exactly.
Because then once they're there, they're like a certain type of like bird.
Yeah. They become
like a bug,
inoculated.
Where it's like, oh, now they're everywhere.
Yes.
Now they know they can exist in this ecosystem. And now they're eating up all the leaves and shit.
I always say men date like it's a career resume. Like kind of like if a man dates a 10, he doesn't go, what a lucky, like, wow, randomly I got a 10. Let me make this work. He goes, I guess I can get 10s now. Like I'm now looking to be promoted from a 10 up. And you go, 10 up? 10 up, you're unemployed and uggo. 10 up, stand down. If anything, you should break up with her out of respect. But no, they don't do that. They go, I guess I'm the kind of guy who dates girls this hot. What else?
Yeah, there's really something to this.
Thank you.
There's really something to this because when I was in college, I was hooking up with a fat woman, and kind of on and off for like a time, and like my friends gave me a lot of shit about this, but I was just like, yeah, but you guys, your lives are bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like you should just be happy to like be
Who are
involved.
You guys fucking?
You feel me? No, they're actually doing pretty well.
It sucks because I'm like, guys want to fuck fat women want to be fat, but unfortunately society has told everybody that you shouldn't do it. It's so crazy that there is like this perfect supply and demand situation that society has gotten in. And like everyone could just be fucked and getting fucked and happy as hell and well fed, but for some reason there's this like made up shame component that I was like, if we could all just stand down and admit what we like, we'd all be good.
And I'm here to and I'm here. And I was really the guy being like, I don't know, I fuck fat girls sometimes. It's awesome. Yeah. It's you can have a really nice time.
Yeah.
Really, you go to a YouPorn home site, you go, oh, people like this. So why are they acting like they don't?
Quite a few.
I mean, most people like that, I think.
But everybody's trying to pretend like, look.
Yeah, it's just saying, it's so ridiculous. If everybody could get together and just like as a community go, we're just going to admit you're wrong. Mm-hmm. You can't make me feel shame about this anymore.
We got to do.
And it would stop the Republicans.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also grew up in a time. If you grew up in the early aughts, is just kind of like that fried your brain. Especially we've talked about, especially white girls' brains.
Oh yeah,
that fried white girls' brains against like fatness in a way that like probably can never be undone.
No,
I mean,
look at what's happening right now with Ozempic.
Yeah, true.
Everyone's like, I will stab myself until everything makes me sick.
Yeah,
in order
just to get a taste of the skinny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big. I guess. Do what you want to do, but generally speaking, my preferences and like who I like to fuck aside, like I like personality wise, I like most people better when they're fat.
Yeah, big.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Anytime anybody loses that weight, something about their personality sheds off as well in a way that
Well, can
It's
I
too much
say-
effort. It becomes the whole thing.
it becomes their whole thing.
Yeah.
Everybody who's had a big transformation, I've always liked him better fat. Anyway, more lyrics.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I felt obligated to include the Sweater Song by Weezer because it is my favorite song and I do have part of it tattooed on me. And I did feel that to do my favorite lyrics without discussing the lyrics that are permanently affixed would be wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Would be wrong. So I have, so the Sweater Song, for those of you who don't know, is often believed to be a frivolous song about a sweater. And really it's about feeling alone in public spaces.
I thought it was from SpongeBob.
What?
Isn't there a sweater song in SpongeBob?
Yeah, it's completely separate.
I didn't know there could be two, to be honest.
Okay. Well, so it's about a guy and he's at a concert and then there's going to be an after party, but he like doesn't know if he's going to go. And then there's a middle verse that says, "Oh no, it gone, bye bye. Who I think I sink and I die."
She has that tattooed on her body. She has the words "I die" on her body.
I mean,
From
she will at some point.
The Sweater Song.
Yeah.
And I will die at some point.
Yeah.
And can I say, I look forward to it. But
Speak on it.
I just think this is such a weird song because I feel like it's so odd. And then people like scream sing it. And no one even knows it even has lyrics. People will go, and I'm like, well, what do you think you're scream singing?
I hear what you're saying.
It's and it's like one of Weezer's most known songs.
But nobody knows what it's about.
Yeah.
Except
me. I'm the
seemingly
only one
Ashley
who
Hamilton.
gets Rivers Cuomo.
And what about where in the lyrics is it about feeling uncomfortable in spaces?
Well, there's like ad libs in the middle of each verse where
Okay.
the guy is saying like, he's like at the concert alone, and then people are like, "Hey man, are you gonna go to the party after?" And he's like, "I don't know what," and he's like very like separate from the rest of the crew in the party.
Okay.
And then he's like maybe not gonna go to the party. And then it's about destroying his sweater and like coming undone by pulling his, like he's gonna walk away, but like you can hold on to him via a thread, but it's gonna unravel.
I see.
Why do you relate to this?
I don't know.
Great question. Great question.
I feel like you're always at every party.
Yeah.
Ashley is popular and she knows everyone.
No.
Well, I feel like it used to be more like that before we went inside for the pandemic.
Yeah.
I do feel like you
Oh
were.
my
I mean, I feel like we were
God.
all
And
different.
That's when I got the tattoo.
Pre-pandemic, but I do feel like pre-pandemic, I do feel like Ashley knew every single person and was friends with kind of every single person. Like
I
every,
love being friends with people.
yeah.
Do you?
Because
Sometimes.
pre-pandemic, Ashley was the social one. Claire was kind of the one.
Yeah, I was
who
an inside
like,
person.
I don't want to be.
I did not want to. I just get so sleepy at night. If social stuff happened if it was like a brunch-based community,
Yeah.
I do think I'd be out everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's the darkness and the nighttime of it all.
Yeah, I get so tired. And then I also think part of my problem is I always had a boyfriend outside of comedy. So I feel like I was never all in, which I think is ultimately a regret I have.
I see. It's not too late.
Yeah, to like, could you imagine if I divorced back? Because I was like, I'm really trying to hit the open mic
Well,
scene
not
hard.
divorce. You don't have to get divorced.
You
to
can just
get more
do
into
both.
comedy. Yeah.
No, I do. I think you have to.
Oh.
I think like to be fully immersed in the New York City comedy scene, you do have to kind of be single.
Well, what I wonder is like, what
Interesting.
is there a full immersion in the New York comedy scene as
Today.
it exists post-COVID?
There's ways to do it. I feel like there's ways to do it, but I also feel like there's an age component
Yeah,
to
I'm
it that
sure.
comes to it too, where it's like you lose your esteem. Like I have buddies like back in Texas who have been like back in, they're like, oh, I want to move to New York. Like I want to move to LA. And I always am like, yo, I moved to New York when I was 27. And that to me felt like one of some of my last years where I could have like dove in as hard as I dove in, where I was like out and about and doing everything. And also I was in a relationship. That relationship ended pretty immediate within.
But she was also a comedian. So I
She-
feel like there was like if you're hanging out at the diner after like a late show or something, everyone's there. You know what I mean?
Kind of. But there was other stuff.
Mhm.
There was other stuff with that.
What
But,
else?
Yeah, there was, but all that to say, like, I do feel like once you hit like 30 or so, especially if you have a job, especially if you have like a real career. Wait a second. Speaking of which, remember when Ashley used to do social media for that?
And I would text you guys to like and comment on all the posts.
Ashley used to do social media for a company that did like bedspreads and sheets and stuff like that.
She did for 3 different companies.
Is that true?
Yeah.
The one
she
that
knows everything about like a thread count.
That's the one I remember is like the sheets company.
There's multiple sheets companies. One of them threatened me. They were like, you're taking our intellectual property to a different sheets company. And I said, you guys are all buying the exact same fucking sheet.
From the same people.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ashley used to text us in a group. Used to text a bunch of us.
Oh yeah.
and be like, hey, can you help this thing gain traction? Can you guys? And I was like, well, I guess maybe you were running the account, but I was like, does this account realize that it's the same 7 people
Also,
commenting
like,
on all the stuff?
That number of people shouldn't change anything. Like,
you wouldn't think.
Any
But
post.
you guys know that when you're like posting something on Instagram, if you don't get a couple comments in the first like couple minutes, and that post is gonna flop because it gets it juiced in the algorithm.
True.
So I was trying to get you guys to juice it.
Went off on the podcast about how bad I thought the photography was and how bad I thought the art direction was. And
then after I quit, and then they fired me after I quit, they said, and you were very disparaging about this company on a podcast.
Can you
and
believe
I said, you guys have been
disparaged?
sitting on this? You guys have been sitting on our disparaging comments?
For the whole time.
I will say their art direction was very cold, specifically cold and like super lit. And that is like a weird thing you want for a sheets company. It's weird to like look at sheets and be like, wow, this feels frigid.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've ironed that out.
It was very ironed.
Now that we've got to the bottom of that.
What did you bring a third one?
There's one
well,
more.
I brought rap lyrics, but I also have I decided to
Part of
come
the problem.
problematic. And I do think The Life of Pablo is one of some of the best lyrics.
It's the last great Kanye album we'll ever get.
And it's like one of the great albums.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel it's problematic to say.
Last year he was one of my top artists, and I was
But I also have an Avril Lavigne to discuss if we want to discuss that.
We can go either way. I will just really quickly about Kanye. I feel like I was at a wedding kind of recently. I forget if I've talked about this on the pod or not, but I was at a wedding where the bride wouldn't let the groom put Kanye on the playlist. He wanted to put Kanye on. She wouldn't let him.
What?
But
because she didn't want her wedding to have like cancellation energy.
yeah, she didn't want there to be like a problematic element. But they did play several Michael Jackson songs. So I was kind of like,
yeah, that's the thing is everyone has their lines. Like I don't do R. Kelly. Or no, I don't do Chris Brown.
Yeah, I took a hard stand on Chris Brown too.
I think it's very easy for me to avoid Chris Brown.
The problem is every time I'm in like a
you don't like his music anyway.
So no, but I love his music and I quote him often.
Yeah,
I quote "I got friends and you got friends" because I feel like that comes up a lot.
That's true,
and it is like so true.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like nothing better than everyone hanging out with their friends.
That's so true. We haven't even gotten to the bottom of the fact that I used to have friends and now I don't.
No,
it's true. Ashley used to be a little socialite.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just
she also
because
got a dog and that changed a lot.
Yeah.
She's a parent.
That does change.
I'm a mother. And I guess I feel like I am still social, but I used to like hang out all the time until it ended. And now what you're saying about us getting older, I feel like the people who hang out the whole night until the party ends.
They're younger people.
If you're in your 30s and you're one of those people that it's kind of like, unless everyone is one of those nights where everyone's out, I feel like you don't want to be the oldest person left.
Well, you can't be that a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could be that like once a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, oh, yeah, it was cool.
Like when I used to go to SNL with you or something, then I would be like taking the train home at 7 a.m.
You take the train home?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, continue.
It's 7 a.m. It's very safe.
It's work hours. She's
Fair.
commuting to work.
Fair.
Actually, one time I went to SNL with, I don't know if it's disparaging to say his name. I didn't want to put him on blast for getting robbed. No, I went with Tommy McNamara and we took the train home. And between like the 3 stops after I got off and then when he got off, he got robbed.
That sucks because Tommy's also such a sweetheart.
He's such a sweetheart.
Fell asleep.
He fell asleep.
Sometimes people are asking for it. That's one of my big beliefs about New York being dangerous is there are people who have like rob me energy.
Oh, yes.
They cut his pocket off and it was his favorite pants.
And the thing about it is I've heard about that happening, but I've never heard about it happening to a person that I know in real life. That's crazy.
Yeah, we were taking the train home. It was like 6 a.m.
And
I said 6 a.m. I thought we were safe with the commuters.
Also, like at that point, if you're asleep and somebody's got the like delicate hands, the delicate fingers to like cut your whole pocket open and steal some shit out of it, they deserve it.
Theirs.
I'm also curious about the pocket being on the inside. Like, how do you cut out a pocket? Oh, they cut out the top?
They cut like the outside of their jeans.
I was thinking like they cut
like inside the pants.
like the sack of the pocket.
They took his
No.
That's not what happened.
No, but I see it now.
Okay. Do you know what else? I feel like sometimes if I'm going home at like 2 or 3 a.m., I'm like, I need to take an Uber home because I need to get home faster because there's still an opportunity to get enough sleep tonight. But if I'm leaving a party at like 5 a.m., I am like, it's kind of shot. Like, why spend money on an Uber if I'm not going to sleep well?
I will say this, going back to Brooklyn,
my time home.
Wait that 20 minutes for the train.
To be on an Uber over a bridge when like sun is rising to Brooklyn is
it's romantic.
Yeah, you feel very Lady Bird. You're like, I moved to New York City and I'm doing it.
I used to live so much more like that, but it's like anything. Once I got more acquainted with the city, then I I lost the romance.
magic.
You know what
I've
I'm
seen
saying?
the sun rise over the
Do you have
fucking
anything
river.
though that still like to this day gets you about New York City?
Like a brownstone street, in the fall.
Yeah.
Like when the weather turns, and it's also like I live in a neighborhood that's like got a lot of brownstones, and like it's very.
There's some really beautiful blocks where you guys.
It's really
It's
pretty over there.
nice.
When the weather flipped,
Mm.
and like the leaves are falling, I'm always like, and I've got my like little sweater fleece on. I'm like,
You got a Meg Ryan giddiness.
it's really that shit. Really,
Anything could happen.
That gets me excited. That is like. And that happens every single year.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh,
Wow.
this is.
And then when the
gorgeous.
trees come back in the spring.
Yeah, that's also
There you
nice.
go.
Also,
Nice.
not to really shit on where I'm from, but it is like every time I go back now, it's like what happens in most places, especially you guys are from like you're from near a real city, and you're from also near a real city.
Yeah.
Where it's like when you guys are from those places, I feel like the architecture gets like maintained. Where I'm from, everything's brand new.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, no.
every single time I go home, I am always so reminded of that. Is like, oh, every single thing that's here got built like 3 years ago.
I have family in like neighborhoods where every house looks the exact same. There's
Yeah.
like 3 versions of it, and they're all next to each other, and they're all very recent. And you walk through, and you're just like
And so
an
that's-
absolute lack of vibe.
Yeah. All right. We gotta do the voicemail.
What's the voicemail?
We do listener voicemails every time, every pod.
Hey, Devon. Hey, guest. I had to call in about this one. You know, you have to call in about a lyric when anytime you hear it, you just scream it at the top of your lungs. And that's what I always have to do when I hear this song, specifically when it gets to this lyric. So this is Angel from Montgomery, originally written by John Prine and covered by Bonnie Raitt, who does an insanely beautiful, breathtaking version that will sort of rip your heart out, and that's why I love it. So there's a point in the song where it says, how the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say? And I feel like everyone can resonate with that. And you can also see it from so many different sides. I get it from the point of like, you have a partner who's gone all day, they come home, they have absolutely nothing to talk about. That's insane. It's been a whole day. Shouldn't there be some connection that you have? And then I also sort of see it because we've kind of all had those jobs that just fucking suck, like tire you out. And even though you love the person you're coming home to, you just kind of have nothing to say. So I don't know. I would love to hear your dissection of this lyric, and yeah, give it a play. Have a good one.
I actually have so much to say about this.
Okay, we talk about this all the time.
I just like had a really interesting thing happen to me on social media because all these girls were like doing this joke about being like, when you're, you know, your besties when you don't even know what she does for work. And I was like, how the fuck could you not know what your best friend does for work? I know what like all of my friends do, and I feel like they're all. And then I said that, and so many people were like, that's a New York thing. Where I'm from, nobody talks about their job. And I go, but how could that be true? You do it so much.
Yeah.
Like, how could you not ever talk about what's going on at work?
That can be a part of male on male friendships.
Is never talk about work.
Or just not really talking about any. I was telling my girlfriend about this, which is that like I feel like there's a type of male friendship that you have that's like really open and vulnerable. You guys really talk about what's going on, but there's also like a type of male friendship where all you guys
it's just
do
a TV show
is
or a
sit
sport
down
team.
and watch the game. And
Yeah.
you sit and you watch the game, and you might just be like, "Oh, how's your girlfriend?" Or like, "How's your brother?" You might do that, but mostly you're just like doing this. So it's like in male friendships, I get it. In any other friend, or in a specific type of male friendships, I get it.
Yeah.
Any other type of
But
friendship,
can you imagine women not talking about what they did all day?
no, I really
I
can't.
feel, and also we always talk about how there is like so much more to say when you're talking to someone every day. Like when you're catching up with someone over a long period of time, and you're just like, "What's new?" I don't like. I was
like,
thinking
where
about
do you
this with
start?
like people I knew from high school or something, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, how are you?" And I'm like, I don't know. I guess since the last time I saw you, every single thing in my life has changed 14 times.
Truly.
So, good. I'm
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, you're like
I
talking.
I had a homegirl who got married and divorced since the last time that I saw her.
Yeah, there's nothing to catch up on. We're
Yeah.
right back where we
Yeah.
started.
You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry.
and like
I
you're
cut
at
you off.
even then. I guess we're still where we were post high school, which
Yeah.
is chilling.
Mhm.
But then if you're like talking to someone, like when I talk to Claire every day,
Mhm.
then I'll see, like right now, I'll see her and then I'll go home and walk my dog, and then she'll be like, I have to tell you everything that Devon said when we went to go get dumplings. I feel like I have this problem also on dates where like I've been going on a lot of first dates.
Whoa.
And not second dates because they've just been so boring. There's like nothing to say. And I'm just like, we don't even have to talk. There's nothing important to talk about. It's just like, can we hit a cadence of conversation? And I get that like not everyone has the cadence of conversation that I prefer, but
I think it is. I think there's been like a real hatred of small talk, and we actually have to allow it back on the table because I think that people think talking about some like what they had for lunch that day is too stupid and boring. Like everyone's like, I want to talk about the stars, and it's like, no, tell me about like the Cuban spot you like to get a sandwich.
You need an entry point.
Yeah.
You need an entry point
you have
before
to be
can-
willing to
to
like
find common ground. There has to be like space for a back and forth. It's
Yeah.
not. I feel like now conversation has become this whole like, okay, you trauma dump, and then someone else trauma dumps, and I'm like, I actually am not really interested in your trauma right now. I want to know if you just like are fun to hang out with.
There's almost like, it's like a conversational foreplay.
Yes.
I might be the first person to ever say that.
Can I tell you? I actually have jokes about it.
Some of you guys are gonna be listening to this at your house and you're not gonna be watching it. Claire, I really can't. You know how sometimes you see an actor and like they're not saying anything, but you can still register exactly what's happening with them. Claire, when she doesn't like something, when she disapproves of something that you say, there's a thing that her face does that is so specific. She communicated so much to me, and she said truly nothing. And she really communicated. She was like, this nigga's a fucking idiot. She didn't say the N-word because she's. We gotta go. And with that, we will wrap the
What I was
podcast.
gonna say is I think that's really funny and insightful.
No, you weren't gonna say that.
I was gonna say it.
Were you really gonna say that?
Yes, because I feel bad now.
Y'all, Claire and Ashley, thank you so much for being here. You guys, would you like to plug some things at the end of the show?
On Devon's birthday, my special is coming out. Please watch it.
Yeah, we have a podcast. It comes out every Wednesday.
Yeah, before Devon's
Every
birthday.
Wednesday between now and Claire's special. So if you listen to our podcast, you'll hear more about the special.
What's in the podcast is called Good Noticings.
Yes.
And what do you guys talk about?
Everything we've noticed lately
Yeah.
from pop culture and the space between.
And normal culture. Right now, we're doing a lot of noticing about maybe AI isn't going to do what they said.
Yeah.
AI could be bad.
It could be. Yeah,
That's something we've noticed.
Well, I'll tell you a story about this. I'll tell you a story about this off mic.
About AI being good.
About I don't even want to say what it's about because
It's traceable.
But it is
The bots.
It's an AI.
You've noticed it too.
It's an AI related thing that I'd like to talk to my friends about.
Yay.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Y'all
Thanks
check out
for
their
having
podcast.
us.
Check out this podcast. You know, call in, leave a voicemail.
And Devon's going to be on ours soon.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. They've
can I say-
they've done probably hundreds of episodes, and
And you have been on some of them.
the ones before it was a success. Yeah.
Well, then I guess we will see. Maybe that's the common denominator. We are only successful when we kind of box you out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's true. There's a pattern. It's like it's been going great since I haven't been on, so maybe keep it going. Anyway, Claire and Ashley, thanks for being here. Bye, y'all. My Favorite Lyrics is a production by Disco Nap. If you guys like what you hear, leave a review and tell a homie about the show. And make sure to follow us at My Favorite Lyrics Pod on all social platforms, except for Twitter. We offer that. You can learn more about this week's guest and the My Favorite Lyrics team by checking out the show's notes. And thank you to the guys that made this show happen. Our executive producer, Lauren Mandel, our associate producer, Carmen Carigan, Chris Mueller, who engineered and edited the episode. Shout out to y'all. We'll catch y'all next week.